Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to Total War Warhammer. Man, I am excited to show you guys this battle because it is pretty daggum epic and it will go down to the last man. Well, pretty much to the last man. This is essentially Helm's Deep inside of Total War Warhammer. I don't know who made it, but whoever did, it is actually called Kaiser's Helm's Deep. And this dude, it just went all out. Unfortunately, as many of you know, the inability to put men on the towers makes it a little rough. But I mean, the pathfinding's a little awkward here. But anyways, this is pretty legit. I mean, look at that. It's got the broken wall. It's got what he did is he put some hills right behind the walls so you could actually have men put up there. It's really, really good. I really like this map, and it did very, very well. It's even got the ramp and everything. So I am playing, of course, against Alex the Rambler. He and I are just best buds right now, and I'm loving every second of it. And we're going to play this awesome custom map. I'm glad to be back in Warhammer. Guys, I still suck at it. Even after these two battles, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So what we have today, not a huge battle. I mean, you're talking 4,300 men, which is kind of huge by Warhammer standards. But regardless, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through our army compositions and then we will get straight into the battle. This is a very long battle. 25 minutes for a Warhammer battle, I feel, is like ages long compared to how long they normally last, which is like, what, around 6 or 7 minutes? So pretty daggum sweet. Anyways, I've got quite a few black orcs in my front line. I think I have, what, 6 of them? These guys will be great axe infantry. These guys, I'm really excited to use them. They actually do pretty daggum well. Behind them, I actually have 3 giants. I'm going to split them up, put one up in the ramp, other into the walls, and we'll see how well they do. Behind them, we have 4 units of Night Goblin archers. These are the fanatics. I wanted to get some archers. I should have deployed more, and I actually do have some Savage Orc Arrow Boys. But we should have done a little more, and I'll tell you why in just a little bit. We have some Savage Orc Biggins. So these are going to be kind of some shock axe infantry, which should do some pretty good damage in the battle. Over here, we have a couple of Savage Orc Boar Biggins. In retrospect, I shouldn't have used these guys. I would have been able to use a few more arrow troops, things of that nature. But you know what? I thought I could push through, maybe pull a little bit of a Rohirrim kind of deal. It did not work, but we'll get there when we get there. Last but not least, I have a Ragnarok Queen. She is pretty freaking sweet. And then, of course, I have Grimgor Ironhide. Over on his side, Rambler used a lot of really solid troops, some really good troops to plug the holes with. And just, yeah, he usually doesn't put this many ranged units in the battle. And so, as a result, I didn't have very many ranged units, which, again, I wasn't expecting him to pull that many, which is, I mean, I don't care, but it did end up hurting me in the end. Some crossbowmen, we have some spearmen with shields, we have great swords, we have a very good combination of different types of infantry that he's deployed here. He has halberdiers, he has swordsmen, he has great swords, he even has a couple of fanatics over here, or flagellants, excuse me, which they are fanatics, same thing. These guys are just gross looking, man. They're just really gross looking. Disgusting. And then behind him, he has 2 units of Hellstorm rocket batteries along with Karl Franz. Really solid defensive line he's got here. A bunch of gunners. He's got a bunch of handgunners. He's got more crossbowmen. He's even got more ranged units. I've never seen Rambler put this many ranged units in his life into a battle, and it really threw me off. It really did. Over here in Helm's Deep itself, we have some spearmen with shields. He has a steam tank if I can get to it. Come on. What really sucks is I can't go through there. So he has a steam tank, and it looks like he has a few units of halberdiers, some more spearmen shields, and some more great swords, and a celestial wizard as well, which I did not expect him to bring in. Overall, guys, this is going to go down to the wire, and there's going to be a little bit of a grind, but I think it's very much worth it to watch to the very end. Let's go ahead and hit that battle. Start it, and we will get rolling. I'm going to send my Savage Orc Biggins into here. I feel like some shock infantry is going to be some pretty good way to try and beat them into there. He, of course, is bringing his steam tank, and it is going to go ahead and start firing at my troops. Bringing a majority of our troops in, and look at this Hellstorm. This is going to hurt. This is going to, I mean, he shreds me up. terrifying rocket volley. Didn't really do a whole lot to my black orcs aside from give them a little bit of a morale debuff, and those things are just going to fire at us so quick. It's going to keep me on my toes for sure. Officially lost a few units there. Steam tank. He's bringing it out. He's going to use that in a melee engagement here in a little bit. There we go. Finally breaking through. Finally hitting some troops and killing them. And they are just relentless. That rocket battery really, really threw me off. So I'm bringing all my black orcs up. I realized that his solid volley, solid line of freaking ranged units is going to be absolutely devastating to me. So I'm kind of trying to figure out what the crap I need to do to try and offshoot that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my arrows and my ranged units and really try and pester them a bit. Because these arrows, these guys aren't armored. The handgunners, they aren't armored. They have armor-piercing missiles, which is really good against my black orcs, but they're not going to be really good against my other troops, which is my savage orc biggins, which honestly, I probably should have brought into the battle a little sooner than I did. We're going to finally get engaged in over here. Savage orc biggins have been wrecked by my Rambler steam tank. Oh my word. Helm's deep, man. I am super excited to see this, though. People are cranking out some really awesome custom battles, and if you guys have any custom battles, custom battle maps, be sure to send them, and Ramble and I will most likely do it. I'm going to try and get with Pixie and those guys, too, but for the most part, it seems like Rambler and I were doing some really good work here, and I enjoy playing with them a lot. Good lord, that rocket volley. He has already killed 100 of my men, 80 of my men are already dead. Now, as you can see, I'm bringing my ranged units back in. Rambler just sent in one of his celestial attacks. That's really going to hurt the morale of my troops. Unfortunately for Rambler, I'm getting my giant in to take on that steam tank, and that is doing a pretty efficient job. My other giant, my other two giants, they're going to come in and they're going to start shredding these halberdiers, which they are anti-large, but good lord, I'm going to do a really good number on them. I should have had these guys charging in instead of just walking in. Don't really know what happened there, but it did hurt me. He's already routed one of my savage orc arrow boys as well. And then I'm just going to have my giant come in here and hopefully be able to take out as many troops as possible. Getting my Night Goblin archers in to kind of give them a volley, kind of wreck some of those troops if at all possible. Grimgore Ironhide's coming in. We're sending in my queen. This bottleneck is really going to hurt me and is stage 1 of the grind. The terrible grind. But as you can see, those halberdiers, they are just losing decisively, and I'm not really sure why. Our troops have uncovered hidden foes. His second line of defense, I've released some spider hatchlings, which are going to get wrecked. I did not see these troops whenever I first launched these guys. I also didn't know that they didn't auto attack, so I had to send them in to attack, which is actually going to reduce the efficiency of these handgunners because they just really can't do much. The same over here. So my tactic really actually worked pretty well. I think you spawning those hatchlings really distracted the rest of the group and really allowed me to start focus firing on his first tier of ranged units so I could really try and push in there. But over here you can see my giants, they are getting wrecked, and his line is starting to hold. A really big bummer up here. He's changed focus, which I didn't see. He's changed focus on his rocket batteries to come over here. I'm moving in my savage orc biggins in the hopes that they will come in and be able to do some work. Let's see them, see what they can't do. Steam tank is over there in the back, and he's just chugging away. There we go. Take him out, boys. Over here, starting to really work on taking out his rocket batteries and whatnot. Those hatchlings really effective at taking out the range from behind the lines. I did try and get a set of hatchlings off back here. It did not work very well. Now what he's doing is he's focus firing on the Arachnarok Queen. I was trying to get her out of the battle. But as you can see, my Black Orcs and everyone else, they're just... It's not really going too well for me. It's just a grind. It's just a grind, and for some reason, my Giants just kind of stopped attacking. I think because my Black Orcs got in front of them, but I really, really wish they would have come in and done otherwise. This battle would be completely different if Siege Mechanics applied, and I really, really hope that CA applies that. Now, I forgot about this. So Carl Franz brought in, Rambler flew him in, and he actually got half of his damage done to him before Rambler realized what was happening and pulled him away. Carl Franz is amazing at getting out of engagements, and it sucks. It sucks if you're not using Carl Franz. But anyways, I really hope CA implements siege techniques. There we go. There's my hatchlings. I knew I did it at one point. As you can see, it's reducing a little bit of their morale. But we're back to the siege points. If they could implement siege tactics in the siege mechanics, that would make it so much more interesting, because I could scale these walls and it would really truly become the battle for Helm's Deep. It wouldn't be just this mess in the middle, it would be everywhere, and I think that would be really, really awesome. So I really hope they plan on implementing it, and implementing it soon, because it could really define, truly define what custom maps could do. Siege battles would just be so awesome. So CA, please, please, please work on that. Again, my Giants are just cannon fodder right now. Mixing in those Flagellants is really going to help Rambler, because it's going to help him hold that line, because Flagellants do not retreat for anything. And what I also haven't been doing is I just now brought Grimgore Ironhide in to use his buffs, because he has some really sweet buffs. He has a plus 58 melee damage. He has some melee defense techniques that he can use, and so that combination mixed in with some Black Orcs really makes them a deadly combination that can really, really change the side and face of battle. Over here, we're just getting wrecked. There's just really not much we can do. A unit has already been wiped out. The balance of power is still pretty even. He has 500 more troops than I do, but overall, I mean, yeah, he's only lost 1,000. I've lost 1,600. I'm bringing in my Savage Orc Biggins again. He's going to give me another Celestial attack, which is really going to just rout them. That is the one thing about Greenskins that I hate, and I need to learn how to use them better, is they lose morale so freaking quick. There we go, there's that buff. Stand your ground, leadership, and melee defense. I do believe I had already just used the melee attack. Finally getting my queen in, I pushed my Giants through to try and take them out. There's that 58 melee attack. Really going to work on those Flagellants to try and push them through. Really going to try and do that. But as you can see, he's just... Rambler has never used so many ranged units in his life, and I just didn't expect it. And if I would have expected it, as I should from now on, it should be, yeah, should be able to do a lot better than I did in this battle. There we go. So as you can see, we are starting to push through that initial phase. He's only has some great swords and some Flagellants left. We have lost this battle, and Rambler has already sallied forth with his troops to really kind of lead the final attack. I see over here, I realize that my attack here over there has failed. I'm going to try and work on taking those ranged units out, but also I don't want to get hit behind from over there. So eventually I will bring my units in over there to try and counter those guys. We have almost officially broken through. This giant has very little health left, 600 health left. Those Flagellants are still pushing, and I'm moving in my Savage Orc Boar Biggins to move in. And they're just going to try and mop up that group as best that we can. Now again, had I known what he had, I would not have put these guys in here. Makes it very, very hard. But we are going to wreck their unit of crossbowmen. Look at that. They are getting demolished.
Run!
They are getting wrecked. Can't handle it, son. Cannot handle it. But then I see his second line of defense. His line of defense, good lord. He's got 2 units of halberdiers. He's got some spearmen with shields. He's pulled his, at least one. Oh no, this is Regiment of Renown. Helm Storm Rocket Battery, the Sunmaker. He's got 2 more sets of, 3 sets of handgunners, 4 sets of handgunners, and a full set of, oh good lord, 5 sets of handgunners, and a full set of crossbowmen. Now again, this is where I pulled these guys over, because I see that these are over here. Really need to try and just take them out, but we're losing leadership like a mother. It's just dropping. It's just hardcore dropping because we had kind of lost that initial engagement. So I come over here, we're going to take out the flagellants. They don't rout, so we have to kill every single one of them. Give myself a little bit of a breather, but not a whole lot. Rambler sees that he's routed everything he needs to rout, and he is moving his troops back in. I don't think I'm going to be able to get in range in time to be able to fight those guys. Oh, I can take a breather now. Oh, let's kind of double speed it up. Bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. I was going to rest up a little more, but then Rambler had to go in and bring his second round of Helm Storm rocket batteries, which means I really needed to push the attack before he just leveled my troops. I see my giant, he's got 42 health left, so what am I going to do? I'm going to bring him into the ramp, and he's going to take those guys out. He's going to attempt to anyways. This is my next mistake. I should not have sent my Savage Orc Biggins into this engagement knowing how much ranged troops there were, because they are going to get absolutely slaughtered. I did manage to bring Grimgore in and give them that debuff of melee defense, but that's melee defense. That's not ranged defense, so it really did me absolutely no good because the buff ran out before I hit the halberdiers. I'm going to suicide charge. Another thing I should have done. Again, retrospect is everything. Orc Boar, my Savage Orc Boar boy Biggins, I should have brought them around. I should have taken on those halberdiers and greatswords there rather than suicide charge them into these halberdiers because it did me absolutely freaking no good. Rambler's going to bring Karl Franz back into the mix. This dude is a beast. Karl Franz just does not die for anything. Take him out, boys. Take him out. So yeah, this is our next little cluster. He's going to focus fire on the Ragnarok Queen, unfortunately. And this is where the next level of grind comes. You're talking, this is going to be another 11 minutes of grind. But I really think it's worth it because it's really interesting on how we did everything. I did manage to bring some Night Goblin Fanatics in. We're going to start attacking them, hopefully. Our warriors have fled. Yep, those will be our Savage Orc Boar Biggins. Again, should not have suicide charged them into those halberdiers. That probably, of all of the pivotal moments, that's one of the pivotal moments that I feel could have changed the battle if I had used them differently. My Ragnarok Queen is dead. GG. GG. Karl Franz, you get the hell away from me. There we go. We're bringing in our archers to see what they can't do. What are you doing? Why aren't you doing anything? We've got our Savage Orc Boar Biggins. They've already routed. They got decimated. Sending in the archers, but they're just losing leadership so fast. Some black orcs moving in. Those halberdiers are getting wrecked. And even these halberdiers. Harmonic convergence. Ramblers initiated some. That celestial wizard is back. Lizard. The giant's dead. We still got our giant over here. Rambler's pulling his troops back to reinforce because I think he sees that I could potentially, if I can break through this line, I will win. because he really only has ranged units in the back. And even these great swords and stuff, I could still potentially push through them. Karl Franz and his super buffs, damn them to hell. The grind is real. I wish I could talk. Send in Grimgor Ironhide himself. He has speed and vigor. Just as initiated the 58 melee attack, which I think is one of the most crucial things about Grimgor Ironhide, and we are using our archers to take out his ranged units, just trying to get the biggest advantage that we can. We're kind of have these troops right here because I don't think he sees them, so we can potentially use that to our advantage as well. So yeah, this little cluster right here, it's really sucks. I'm really not sure why. Oh, he ran out of ammo. Okay. Rambler sent in the steam tank, and this is another mistake I made. For some reason, my archers focused fire on the steam tank, and that really hurt our own troops. We got a lot of friendly fire going on there, but as you can see, that steam tank is just dying. He is just recklessly outmatched. There we go. Just a few more hits, and it explodes in a fireball of death. Rambler's going to resend his ranged troops over here onto the wall. And this is where I bring in my rest of my troops as well. He does not know that I have these here. Now, unfortunately, this giant only has 42 health, so he's just got to get hit once or twice and he's dead. But regardless, it was a nice little surprise for him. Rambler's really going to do his dirty work here with Karl Franz. He is going to completely destroy what little archers I have left. Haha! Suck it, Rambler. Surprise, surprise. Want the trigger? But again, all he has to do is get hit like 3 or 4 times, and he is completely dead. Regardless, good lord, his breath literally shredded those units. Here we go. They're going to come at us. That is some sick, nasty breath. Yep, there we go. See, it just really didn't take much at all. And then my archers are right there as well. But of course, they're going to get routed pretty daggum easily. Karl Franz, he is now going to hammer and anvil me to death. But as you can see, it's still tight. I mean, we're down to 300 units separating us. Those great swords. Honestly, that last unit, great swords, I think is another thing that saved them. Those last 2 units, they did the dirty work that needed to be done. I did have my units coming back. These guys got shredded. Yeah, goodness. Just the constant ebb and flow. I mean, we're still only 400 units apart. We got black orcs that are still doing some dirty work. And the best part about all of this, and it really kind of pissed Rambler off a little bit, Grimgor Ironhide. This dude's a hoss. He's hardly taken any damage, and he's got 120 kills. He is just rocking and rolling. We are taking out these crossbowmen as best that we can. But it's just too much. It's just too much. The leadership is hurting us so bad. As you can see, these guys are just dropping. Their leadership was just plummeting. And it's something that I have to figure out how to work with anytime that I play the Greenskins in the future. I'm sure even just like another wizard or something that might give us some buffs in that area. Karl Franz is going to come back. I hate him so bad. He's going to buff his troops with some leadership and melee defense. And then he's going to come take out my archers. You suck. I hate you, Karl Franz. I hate you with a passion. Just the presence of Karl Franz is enough to make those guys flee. Some black orcs are fleeing as well. Grimgor Ironhide himself is not going to rout. We're now down to 300 units difference. He does have over twice my numbers though. My whoa. Spider's causing a little bit of issue. Trying to get in a good spot in over here, and it's a little hard.
Destroy it!
Here we go. Well, look at that. Is that... That guy almost looks a little bit like Ragnar. Ragnar lost... No, King Egbert. Oh, good lord. Anyways, what's going on here? Karl Franz is cycle charging us. That's what's happening. We've lost the rest of our archers. They have officially routed and or been killed on the battlefield, and I can't get him engaged to try and kill him. If I could have, there's a good chance I may have won that battle, but as you can see, it's very quickly tipping in Rambler's favor. Karl Franz, 107 kills. Dude didn't even do that good. We got some melee attack trying to desperately get the advantage, whatever advantage we can. But I don't think it's going to be enough, boys. The grind is real. The grind is real. So let's just zoom in instead. He's just going to keep on hammering and anviling us, so there's really nothing I can do. I just want to see some really good action. That dude got wrecked. There we go. Look how huge those axes are. Good lord. Those great swords, they are huge as well. Those giants are massive. He's just sitting in them. No big deal. So you can see my black orcs, they are starting to rout. Just over 100 troops now. Man alive. That was a really good grind, though. I feel if just a couple of things had been different, we would have been able to... There's a really good chance that I would have won. He is going to send Sterling's Revenge, these Free Company militia, and they are just going to rout the rest of my black orcs. I'm going to super fast forward time because I want to. And then Grimgor, he fights to the death. He fights until the very end. Well, I guess he doesn't fight to the death, but he fights to the very, very end, taking out as many troops as possible, and a valiant defeat. Very valiant defeat. Alright, so as you can see here, my Savage Orc Biggins, he didn't get any kills at all. They didn't do that great, but I should have used them in a different manner. These two giants really did a lot of work. The Ragnarok Queen didn't do a whole lot, but she sent in her hatchlings, which really disrupted a lot of his ranged troops. And as you can see here, a lot of his halberdiers didn't even get that many kills. The rocket batteries did. They got a majority of the kills. Karl Franz lost a lot, or got a lot of kills. The great swords did a lot better than the halberdiers did. Of course, flagellants are going to do really good. And a crossbowman, they really shined in this battle. Again, I did not expect him to bring so many ranged units. He has 4 units of crossbows. He has 4 units of handgunners mixed in with some Sterling's Revenge, 2 rocket storm batteries, and a steam tank. It's not like Rambler to use so many ranged units. Regardless, guys, that was a really fun battle. We really had no idea until the last couple of minutes who was going to win it. It was that close, or at least I felt like it was that close. And again, a 30-minute long Warhammer battle is just not really seen that often. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the battle. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Again, if you have more custom maps that you want us to play, send them to us, and we're going to try and maybe do like a survival battle. I think that would be pretty cool. Maybe where Rambler and I are facing a lot of AI, so we can kind of work together instead of working against each other. I don't know. We'll get some stuff figured out. Regardless, guys, this is Havoc, and I'm out of here. Peace!